We mentioned a project recently where we moved some rock. A guy got 3 triaxle loads of rock and he didn't need but probably 1 load, and that was right next door. While we were here doing that project, the neighbor came over and said, I really need you to work on my driveway. We don't do a lot of driveway work. We don't advertise that we do it. But today we got Johnny here. Johnny's probably not equipped right now to best handle this box blade. We've taken our wheel weights off. We don't have rim guard in the tires. In fact, that's why we've taken the wheel weights off, is because we're preparing to get rim guard. Wanted to be able to get the wheels off real easy so they could fill them. Just haven't got around to it yet. So we may have a little trouble pulling this box blade, especially this heavier one. I'll show you some more stuff about it in a minute, but it's got some special features and it's really a bit too large for Johnny. Now it's a 5-footer, but it's really heavy. It's much more heavy duty. It's really all Johnny 2 needs, and probably a 3 series, a 3R would be a good match for this particular blade too. So we may have to pull up some of the scarifiers. We'll see how that goes, but I'm ready to get started. We get a lot of questions about how long a trailer we should be using for a 1025R and attachments. I just wanted to show you this one instance here. This is landplane sitting in front. We have the tractor and the loader and a box blade here in the back. 16-foot trailer, and I'm hanging over by 2 feet. So 16 foot, I would say, is the bare minimum. If you ever want to take a second attachment, an 18-foot trailer would be better. Just something to consider. Ongoing challenge with the 1025R is dragging the back. If I have any rear attachment on, I usually can't get it high enough to keep from dragging the ground. I'm probably going to end up plowing this guy's sod out. Oh, that wasn't bad.
The first thing I want to do is dig up some of the rocks that are already in this driveway. Over the years they've been covered up with dirt, but there's still a lot of rock here. I really don't think he needs any more. We had recently had a couple of inches of rain, so it was a perfect time to do this type of work. If it gets really dry, you can hardly dig in a driveway like this. This is the first time I've used these hydraulic scarifiers, so I'm experimenting with several different ways to use them. Here you can see that I got them all the way down, and the box isn't down at all. And in these conditions, it seems to be working great like that. In drier conditions, I've found that I have to have the box full before the scarifiers will actually do much cutting, similar to what I'm showing here. But on this driveway with these soil conditions, it seemed like I was actually digging deeper when I had my box empty. With this little tractor in its lightweight condition, I couldn't pull that 5-foot box blade totally full. I should mention that according to the specs, this Tufline box blade weighs 725 pounds. Tufline builds them, well, tough.
I'm stuck.
Well, not really. I'm experimenting with the lift and lower mechanism on the scarifiers.
I don't know what that is there.
This illustrates one of the challenges that Christy and I face. She has to guess at what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. It doesn't always make sense. After I've got it loosened up a little bit, having the scarifiers all the way down is just not working with Johnny. He can't handle it. Overall, I'm really happy with what I'm accomplishing here. I've got 4 inches probably of loose rock, and that's exactly what my goal was when I started here.
Here's a time where I didn't know what he was going to be doing. And I'm afraid if I pick up the camera and move, I'll miss it all. Maybe there's cars coming. Hold on. Uh-oh. He's getting ready to go. He's getting ready to go. Set the camera down.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic on this road. I didn't feel like I could just take my time and groom this the way I really wanted to. It was also difficult to wait on Christy. I kind of had to act when there was no traffic.
Now where is he going? Okay, there's a little parking pad here that he's gonna try to pull up next. There's a car right here. Obstacle.
When I first visited this homeowner and looked at his driveway, first thing I advised him was that he didn't need any more rock. There's plenty of crushed stone here. This driveway has been in place many, many years. I don't have any idea when the house was built, but I would say it's in the 60s. I don't know, maybe 70s. The driveway's been here that whole time, I'm sure, so there's probably been rock put on and rock put on. I even suspect that when it would get a little bit bad, they keep adding more rock. Well, I don't think we need any more rock here. I just think we need to stir up what we've got. And that's something I usually do look for when I'm trying to help someone with a driveway. There's no use just piling more and more rock on. Oftentimes, that's not the issue. So what we're trying to do here is just take this little box blade, or big box blade for Johnny, just dig it up. Dig it up. And this particular box blade has hydraulically lifting scarifiers. And I'm pretty excited about them. There's a mechanism in there that I'm having a little trouble learning and understanding how it works, but it's kind of a way to lock it down, or I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. I've got to learn a little bit more about it. But
This is your first time using it, right?
this is my very first time using this box blade. So yeah, it's an experiment for me. Now we're using the Poor Man's Rear SCV hose kit that we got from discounthydraulichose.com/TTWT. I think it costs about $100 when you use the TTWT discount. And it runs from, in our case, we're using the third function to drive the rear. Now you could use the loader tilt or curl if you wanted to do that, but in our case we have that third function, so we've just routed that back there. It's right on the joystick. Pretty cost-effective approach. We're going to be doing some additional videos in the future showing some other rear hydraulic options. We've been doing a lot of research on this, and I think we've got some great ideas coming up, some great partners to kind of show you some of the different options.
It looks like to me it's doing a pretty good job, even though I can tell that Johnny's kind of struggling with it a bit.
Yeah, I wish we had the wheel weights and the rim guard.
Yeah, I think that would help.
But yeah, I mean, this 5-foot box blade with 5 scarifiers
wow, that's nice.
That's too much box blade for this tractor. So I probably should either pick up a couple of those scarifiers, but I thought with the hydraulic scarifiers, I'm able to control it a little bit.
Yeah.
So if you'll notice on some of the trips that I've made, I go along nicely, and on other ones, I just seem to be spinning the whole time and working and working. Well, I'm trying to control the depth, and learning to micromanage the depth of those scarifiers is a little bit of a challenge for me.
I will say we're in a residential area, very busy street. A bigger tractor would have just been more to manage, especially on that busy street.
Hard to turn around. Yeah, I'm able to turn around in one lane there. I'm sure with those big heavy hitch teeth sticking out in their lane that
the
folks
car's
are going,
probably like, ah!
Yeah, maybe I could go really fast and just jam one of them and pick it up and push it aside.
I don't think so, Tim.
Oh, okay.
We don't need a lawsuit.
It sounded fun.
Yeah, pick an old, ugly car.
Okay, so I'm going to dig a little bit more here with these scarifiers before we go on to the land plane, but we'll eventually do all the smoothing with the land plane.
Faster, faster, I'm hot.
You're hot? We'll have to find you a shady spot.
Hey, do they make a canopy for my head?
Yeah, it's called an umbrella. It's also called a hat.
Hats make me hot.
They do make you hot. I understand that.
I got a lot of hair. Okay, go back to work. No, you don't.
IsoTune's free today. Changing up. No cable on my neck.
That's probably less hot.
It's less hot.
There were a couple of areas here that I knew were trouble areas for him, and I also just didn't think I had them dug up quite deep enough. So we'll run the box blade with those scarifiers a little bit more, and then we'll switch over to the land plane.
Uh-oh, that's probably a root. Hold on!
And folks wonder why we like the quick edge.
Yeah.
Please be patient. We'll show the hydraulic top link when we get one of these more advanced hydraulic mechanisms hooked up in the rear.
Gotta move, gotta move. Invariably, my tripod is never level, and I have to switch it or try to fix it.
Uh-oh. Sounds like she needs a new tripod. Is it me, or are we hearing more from the camera crew than usual?
He's adjusting the top link. I probably need that on video. Yep, tripod's not right. And I missed all of the adjustment, probably. Something happened to his mic. Probably takes us 3 times as long. Maybe not that many. Probably twice as long to do a project when you're videoing it. It's a good thing these tree limbs aren't any lower, or the canopy would be in the way. I am indeed picking places to stand that's in the shade. Now I have to judge if the tripod leg is in the way of the land plane. I'm gonna guess it misses it by a few inches. It did miss it, yay. So digging it up like this is bringing up some old bricks. Mostly brick halves, but I do see several. I may have to go pick them all up. Behind the scenes, picking up bricks. I don't think he wants these in his driveway. I like the waterfall it has over the back of it. I enjoy watching that. There's a big piece of something just came off. There's no way I can run after him and keep up with him. He's going faster now.
I spent some time off camera with a rake and shovel. Yeah, I really did. Putting some finishing touches on that area next to the road. I really like using the land plane. It leaves a really nice finish. It's easy to use. You can move rocks from one area to another. No problem. This is an entry-level, low-cost land plane. If I were to step up one level, I would like one with scarifiers. We wouldn't have needed the box blade had we had scarifiers on our land plane today. I suppose hydraulically lifting scarifiers would be a next good step up. But hey, this one gets the job done. I've tried several different angles with the top link. Here you'll see that I've got the rear end of the blade a lot lower than the front end. That seemed to work well for finishing in this particular material. On a previous project at my dad's, we ran it just the opposite. So lots of flexibility.
Moving. Will I get positioned before he goes? Who knows? I guess the wrong direction. For me, it would be nice if I knew what he was thinking so I could anticipate his movement, but I can't. So sometimes I'm just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then I'll try to move, and then he might go before I can get settled.
Well, Christy, my vote is that the rest of the video we do today needs to be done in the shade.
Absolutely. How about indoors?
Well, it's pleasant here in the shade.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
But you get right out in the sun, and it's awful.
Yes. Soon my skin would be the color of this Tufline.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of the land plane here, it's so easy to use.
Yeah, when we get home, well, actually not maybe in the middle of the afternoon, but I might want to try it on our driveway.
Okay. Well, actually, it's fine in the shade of the tractor. It's easy to do. And I think we've got Doug's driveway here just like we need to have it. He had some drainage issues. I think we've kind of filled in that area. He had a couple of potholes. We wanted to make sure we dug deep enough to get those potholes taken care of. And
Okay.
and then this land plane just finished it off right on the top.
Yeah, it looks really good now.
The
And
only
it's-
issue is that someone along the way has followed the recommendations of others and got some of those big rocks, you know, to put down as base.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you run along like this, you drag them up, you dig them up, and now they're laying on top.
And some bricks at some
bricks,
point.
yeah. So I don't know. Doug may not like that very well. We'll see how it goes. If he doesn't like it, we'll come back and work on it again.
I bet this is very usual, though, for gravel driveways.
Yeah, probably
You
so.
have different owners of the home over multiple years, and different people put down different things, and you don't even know what's underneath.
Exactly.
And then you
Exactly.
dig into it like we did, and ooh, guess what?
Well, I wondered where you were. When I got the shovel and rake out, you disappeared.
I was actually picking up some chunks of wood that you drug up. And you also left divots in their grass over there. So I put the sod back where it was supposed to be for
That
you.
comments didn't work out very well for me, did it?
Nope.
I brought up something and slam.
I was just trying to say I wasn't just doing nothing.
Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I had a good time.
Yeah.
So,
You had a better time. You were on the tractor.
yep. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on
Tractor Time with Tim. Yeah, because now comes rest of the work. You got to load everything back on the trailer. And then when we get home, you have to unload everything.
Yep, part of the job.
How much time do you think that adds?
Well, you know, we did one episode on that a while back.
Yeah.
And I would say for me it takes, you know, a lot of times if I have two attachments, it'll take 2 hours to prepare and load.
Because usually you have something else on the tractor that's not what you're taking to today's project.
Exactly. So the situation is that, you know, yesterday I might have been using the backhoe, or, you know, maybe I've got something else on another tractor that needs to be removed before I can even get to this tractor. So it always takes longer than what we think it ought to, just to get ready. You've coached me on that a lot, Christy. I mean, I used to say, oh, I can load in 30 minutes, but
No, you
I
can't.
can't.
No.
So we would always be late to projects too when I estimated like that.
Yeah. Now he has to hook onto the land. Now he has to hook onto the box blade. And then we'll have to tie everything down. But that's all, folks.